Happy Thursday and welcome back to the You Good Podcast, the podcast where oversharing is encouraged and thoughts get real. I am your host, C-Rod, joined as always by my co-host, Nick. This week is one of those weird life weeks where joy and potentially fear or the uncertainty are sitting right next to each other. I got to go to Vegas, which we'll talk about, see the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, which I've mentioned numerous times, and had one of those experiences that make you feel like a kid again. But at the same time, my father is in treatment for leukemia, and my family is dealing with what feels like another chapter in a year full of cancer. So today's episode is about holding both things at once: the fun, the fear, the nostalgia, all of the things that make us laugh and the things that remind us life can change fast. Welcome to episode 62, Still Something Good. Let's get into it. No, I don't wanna live where I always feel broken. I just wanna live with a heart wide open. I don't ever wanna feel fear anymore. No. I'm coming in hot today, Nick. I'm coming in hot before we get into the fun stuff because I have had it up to here, wherever this video screen can go, with people lately, aside from being in Vegas and being around a ton of tourists, and people just have no sense of direction or sense of what's the word I'm looking for, where they have a sense of things around them.
Situational awareness.
There you go. They have no situational awareness, followed by one of the worst travel days ever. And people at airports suck. People on airplanes suck. But then I get back home to terrible Florida driving and the rain, and I'm running into the good old blinker dilemma. Basically, people who speed up and get to a turn and either turn their blinker on as they're already turning or don't put their blinker on at all. Do you know what I am talking about? And is this a prevalent Florida issue, or is this just because people don't know how to drive?
I mean, I'm in Florida too, so I think
That's why I'm asking you.
Well, I think it's just an everywhere problem.
It's just like
New York drivers are terrible.
it
I don't know if you've
grinds
ever
my
been.
gears though. Like, why are you going to turn your blinker on when you're already turning? The whole basis of it is to put it on 100 yards back, 50 yards back, so I know that you're going to turn, so I can slow down.
It happens all the time. Like somebody, like turning into Chick-fil-A will just start turning and then turn their blinker on, or slow down. That's the thing that pissed me off the most is like,
Oh,
we're gonna slow down and then now we'll turn the turn on as we're turning into the place. It's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks, buddy.
Like, turn your blinker on, then start slowing down, so I know why you're slowing down. Give me a heads up that you are going to be making a move left or right.
Straight up, I'm big proprietor of we need to be retested. I mean, I haven't been tested since I was 16 years old. Not saying that I personally need to be retested, but I'm not worried about it.
No.
Like
I use my blinker all the time, but it was just so many. Oh, okay, let me ask you this. So, well, one, when we were in Vegas, I had a bunch of people run into me, right? One of those things where they're on their phone, they're not paying attention, and then they run into like me, and I'm like, oh, excuse you, right? And they don't say anything. Or we were at Chuck E. Cheese the other day, and Tegan was at the soda machine getting a drink, and this lady comes up, grown ass lady, and gets like right behind her. So Tegan's here and starts reaching over her to get a drink. I go, you can't wait 2 seconds. And she goes, well, I was here first. I said, no, you weren't, because then you wouldn't be standing behind my child. You fucking lying bitch. But anyways, the other thing that happened was on the airplane. So every time I get on an airplane, I'm a big dude, right? I am 6'2", 275 pounds. And whether I was not 275 pounds or not, like, my knees have a limit of where they can go and where they can bend. And it is pretty much always guaranteed that when I get on a flight, the person in front of me is going to recline their chair back.
Mhm.
And the thing that pisses me off about it the most, it's not that they are leaning back into my space inconveniently to get that extra 4 inches of lean back, like that does anything. Uh, but it's the bottom of the tray table that digs into my knees. And so when we were flying to Vegas, the guy in front of me did that. Um, it was digging into my knees. That was even an indent, 4 or 5 hour flight. And I was like, I can't do this. So I took my jacket and I shoved it in between my knees and the metal bar. But while I was doing that, it was pushing his chair forward. And he has the audacity to turn around and give me the eye. And he turns around and Callie goes, he's just trying to get comfortable. And I go, yeah, dude, you just put your chair back and it's in front of my space and it's pushing my knee and I'm 6'2" and I'm just trying to shove my jacket in between my knees so you can stop hurting me for the next 5 hours. And then he goes, and then puts his chair up. All of that to then give you the floor and say, what is your take on etiquette on a plane of
Mhm.
reclining? And do you do it?
Have I done it? Yes, but normally, like, on, like, empty flights or if, like, nobody's behind me or something, but, um, the reclining thing doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I think it's just I could understand a little bit if you feel like it's just straight up, but the whole way back, someone did it to me the last flight, like, on the way home, from New York, was not a fan, and this dude was huge. So he was, like, able to, like, move it further back than I've, like, ever seen, and I'm like, "This is crazy," but I don't use a tray, so unless, like, just for, like, a short amount of time, like, when the service is out,
So this popped up
but
on Facebook, and of course, I went down the rabbit hole of comments, and everybody seems to be of the mindset. Even people are like, "Oh, I'm a stewardess," and that's not rude. It's what the chairs are made for. Why? They're like, "Oh, if one person did it and everybody did it, then we'd all be comfortable." But that's not gonna fucking happen. So why? I had a
I mean,
dude
you
that
could do it.
I don't it doesn't do anything. Me sitting like this or like this has no difference. If I need to get comfortable, I lean left on the window or usually I will put like my jacket down and I'll put my head on the table or I'll take a pillow and I'll put my pillow and my head like on the thing on front. And that's what I'm comfortable with doing. I would rather sit forward than back. And it just blows my mind at how many people are okay leaning back and what they don't realize is the person behind you, yeah, it's inconvenient because we lose space, but also the tray table. Like when it comes 4 inches forward, now it's like in my stomach if I were to move it out,
But
or
they're supposed to move. Who'd you
I can't
fly,
use my
Frontier?
laptop. It's crazy.
Who'd you
I don't
fly?
what?
Who'd you fly?
I fly Southwest and American, which I'll probably never fly
Okay.
American again.
No, because like, they should, like, move, though, like, so, like, if the seat is f here and he is here, the thing should have a hinge on it.
No,
Uh,
no. It just oh, then the other one was, on the way back, I had this dude that was probably like 300 pounds, and every time he got up and down from his seat, he would slam into the seat like this. He'd sit down like this, and he'd get up like this, and then the guy next to him must have been listening to music or something, and he's just sitting there doing this and going all crazy, and the seats moving, and Callie, there's drinks on the table. People are just they're so inconsiderate. They don't realize that there's other people on the flight, and oh god, just
dude, the thing that bothers me is, like, people that take their shoes off.
ew. I
Like,
mean,
yeah.
I'd rather I'd rather you take your shoes off than inconvenience me with my limited space. As long as your shoes don't stink.
It doesn't it's to me, the angle difference isn't enough
No. I
to
fly
do
with socks and
anything.
sandals, so that way I don't have to worry about shoes.
Socks and
It's
sandals.
very comfortable. My inner Puerto Rican comes out with the slides.
Jesus. Christ.
In other news, let's talk about
Okay.
Big Brother real quick. I have so many things that I want to talk about before we actually get into the episode. So we're in Vegas, time difference. We missed both episodes because we're out and things like that. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and we can't sleep, and it's the last night before we leave. And I'm like, well, let's watch Big Brother. So thanks to you. We were able to watch the day of episode, and they put it out there, and we watched uh, the eviction of my boy and the person
Mhm.
who I chose to win, Kamu. I was livid. I was furious. I actually opened up my app before the Backstreet Boys concert to set my bracket, but because he had gotten evicted, my bracket was X'd out with his face. So I already saw before we watched the episode, and I'm like, God damn it, I can't believe I just ruined it and saw that. What's your take on the Kamu eviction?
I mean, I I don't know what Yaz was thinking.
I can't take him
Like,
seriously with his stupid haircut.
I just for me, how do you not nominate all the icons? Like, how do you leave one of them off?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, like, if anything, your renom is Haley. Like, you have that softball. And I'm
Yep.
like, what are you doing? And
You put two
then
up, put all three. I
and
100%
when it
agree.
was two of the three, and then knowing that power was out there, I would have forced them to use it, you know?
That's the other thing is they have not talked about these. Nobody has strategized and wondered, why does nobody have these powers? Because the only two people that had a power were in the same which I think either one, it's rigged, two, it's
It's definitely
overproduced.
rigged.
That, you said definitely?
It's definitely rigged.
Yeah,
I just don't know why they
100%.
rigged it for the two people that are running the fucking game.
Because those are their CBS babies. That's why the icons are there. That's why Rick Devens gets the Pearl Diamond of Veto and Drew gets not being a whatnot. Like while he's on the block. Like, come on, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. But Drew gets his power and it's, oh, you don't be a whatnot. And he's like, well, what the fuck is this?
He's
Which
like,
they haven't
I was
even
only one
mentioned
about
whatnots all season, aside from
the
like the very
first
first
week.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. They haven't mentioned whatnots at all. And I think I will say this: the season the season has kind of sucked because everything was so safe. That's why there's just been anonymous votes. Nobody wants to go against the icons. And then if you do, like Rome or like Kamu, boom, you're gone. Uh,
But
but
Kamo hadn't gone against them yet.
but he said he wanted to, and word got out. But I will say this: I love the way that Devins played that move. It was one of the best Big Brother moves that I have seen in a while, and I thought it was great gameplay on his part.
Yeah, I get it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Devins, D, Angela's on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Devins pulls himself off. Haley's the renom. Like and now you leave Kamu open to fucking
No,
to
he
actually.
Devins would still have the power to put it up because that's the whole thing. Is he put Kamu up? Yash didn't put
That's
Kamu
true.
up. So Devins, granted, I don't know if he would put Kamu up if all three of them on. It could be different. His
But it
thinking
wouldn't have
might go somewhere
mattered
else.
because
But
Kamu versus D versus Angela, like maybe they get D out.
it's also Kamu and Haley's fault because they couldn't beat Angela in that stupid ball game.
Yeah, but Angela's a veteran. She knew to sit the fuck down.
Yeah. Just I mean,
She didn't just beat them, she whooped their
oh
ass.
yeah.
So I'm just like,
It was kind of close with Haley.
it
Haley and her
wasn't.
were neck and neck.
It really was. She had to take some out, dude. She
Yeah.
had so many.
That's true. She put too many. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She
Yeah.
she kicked her ass.
Well, we'll see what happens because nobody else there's nobody left. There's no competition left, especially if Drew gets evicted. So I like what Dee did. I just don't understand the way she did it because she could have been safe
Do
and
you,
put up
do you
Josh
know
and Haley.
who Do you know who's
No,
HOA
no,
for double elim?
no, no. Oh,
You don't?
it's D again, isn't it? Oh well, let's ruin everything because I did just see a meme come out that says like I'm double HOH and I didn't understand it, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it's rigged. And once Drew gets out and Fap is gone, then it's just the icons. They're going to coast to the end, and they can hang on to Latrice because she's not going to do anything, and get rid of her when they're ready. And then they're going to get rid of Angela when they're ready because she's not going to do anything. The final two would probably be D and Devins. Like it sucks.
I know.
Do you? I've been seeing a lot go around on racism with Big Brother. Do you feel that? Do you see that?
Mm,
People are like losing their minds that this season has been so racist, and I don't get that. I don't feel that.
I mean, in what way?
I don't they say that Barrett's racist. I saw a video that everything that comes out of Drew's mouth is racist, and I'm like, am I missing something or
I haven't heard him say anything, but
ugh, I
I don't watch the lives like that, and
I have heard rumblings of like past years where the people of color always get evicted first, and the white people are always the ones in the finals. That there's always more white people, than people of color, even though they just had the cookout last year.
what
Like
I was about
four,
to say, what?
yeah, that's everybody just finds a reason to scream racism. But I wanted to see if you had you know anything like that.
No, I haven't like I said, though, I haven't watched, like, the lives and stuff, so
Hmm,
maybe they've said something on there, who knows?
who knows? Who knows? Kinsley had her first whatnot show.
I know, I
You
know.
were gracious enough to be the moderator during your bedtime. I was shocked. So if you don't know what Whatnot is essentially an auction site, and we mentioned this a couple episodes ago where Kinsley had found the app on my phone when I was on it one time, and she saw people selling things. I think she had saw squishies. Like I let her watch it, and she was like, "Oh, we could sell my Pokemon cards this way." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, we could." And that was probably about 5 weeks ago, and we got everything set up, and she made like a background, and she got all of her cards together. She was so excited. I bought all the packing stuff, and we were finally like, "All right, let's go live." She's like, "Okay, tonight." I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Then she had said, "Can you text Uncle Nick and tell him that we're going to do it?" So you came on and moderated, but I genuinely thought we would be on for like 45 minutes, an hour. Like I love her to death, but it was the first time I did not think it was going to go well. Especially really early on, like the first 10, 15 minutes, people weren't really buying things. But then all of a sudden, I look at the clock and we're almost at 3 hours of showtime. She sold 119 cards, and it was not like her cousin. I think two of her cousins were on. My mom jumped on for a little bit, but it wasn't like it was all family supporting her. She had some whatnot viewers. I think we were up to like 25 people at one point,
Mhm.
and I was so proud of her. It was awesome.
No, it was a great time. I'm the first purchaser. I want that to be known.
You were
I
number
I
one,
bought the first card.
and you won
Um,
all of our giveaways and made it look rigged.
it's not rigged, dude. All those people will be back, and then some. But yeah, no. I told you that night after you got off. I thought it was a great first show.
Yeah,
Most people don't get the amount of sales you got, let alone the amount of viewers. I think you said you had like 20 different purchasers,
yeah.
and I know that
20 people for 119.
and then I know there was like up to I think 25 people at one point viewing.
Yeah,
So and like you were saying, it wasn't just family support. It was, there was I was telling you there was a few actual, like, big what not big, but, like, bigger whatnot sellers, like, a couple thousand followers
yeah.
and stuff that were sharing the show, and, um And I think there was a few hiccups, like, with, like, the buyers giveaways and stuff like that, but, like, if you're
Yeah,
on a lot of people's shows, everyone messes up the buyers stuff, their first giveaway or their first show because they don't know. It's not like it's
yeah,
out advertised or something that you have to have it set up before you start selling anything for it to count. And but moving forward, I mean, that's a good way to just to get your room full and to sell stuff. But I love the way you adapted to the buyers though, because you started moving a lot of cards that way, and and some like for pretty decent money too.
yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, I think I know that there was a card in there that was ungraded, worth like 50 or 75 bucks, but if you were to buy that card outright, it's like a $15 card and somebody got it for like 2 bucks. And I'm like, it's a hell of a deal. That's a steal.
Hmm.
And that's that,
Was it the Lapras or which one was that?
did you just say Lapras?
Yeah, whatever.
It's a
Lapras,
Lapras, dude. It's a
whatever,
Lapras.
dude.
Well, that was an OG. At that point, we were just going, and I was freaking out. I had my old book next to me. Like, if somebody wanted something, like somebody said Gengar, I'm like, oh, I got Gengar here. I'll just sell it for you, kid. Like, I had already pre-gone through all of my cards, so I knew like the Lapras was a good card, but it wasn't a 10 by no means. Like, there's a little bit of scratches on it, that I could visually see. So I know that if somebody were to grade it, like it wouldn't be the $4,000 card that it could be.
The
Uh,
flying Pikachu pissed me off. I wanted that so
yeah.
bad. I
Well,
wanted it so
uh,
bad.
I can tell you that we have more, and
I
if
know.
you follow Whatnot at crod2388, I think we're going to do it every Friday night. Is what Kinsley wanted to do. Kinsley will be selling more Pokemon cards. So if you have kids or if you like Pokemon and you want to win some cheap cards and also support my daughter, download Whatnot. Follow us at
It was Saturday
crod2388.
though, wasn't it? We did Saturday, didn't we?
I don't know.
We did because you had Sunday to figure out shipping.
Oh yeah, I guess it would have been Saturday because I was flying home from Vegas on Friday.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe we'll do it Saturday. Maybe that's easier. Who knows? Who knows?
Saturdays would be easier for me, but not that it's that fucking matters.
Speaking of Kinsley, when we recorded her episode, we talked a little bit about a show called Yellow Jackets. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I still haven't watched it.
I don't know if you realize, but I deleted that part in post because we were talking about a show about cannibalism where these girls were trapped in the woods, killing and eating people, and it just didn't really fit into Kinsley's episode. So I actually deleted it from like our banter right before I posted the episode. But what I wanted to talk to you about then was not even the show itself, but the show has a lot of plot holes, right? As most shows do, especially that involve survival and murder and all of these things. But I wanted to ask you if you watch shows the same way that Callie and I do. We watch this show and we call out all the stupid plot holes where it feels like we're complaining, but we're just like, oh my God, can you believe that? Like, whatever happened to this? They never went back to that. What happened? Like, how could this person survive, but not that one? Do as we get older, do we get worse at suspending our disbelief? Like, are you as vocal when you're watching a show? Do you call out those plot holes, or how do you watch television?
Uh, no, like, I guess, like, after the fact, like, if someone's asking me about it, I might be like, "Oh, well, this happened," but, not really. It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, it's not that it bothers me. I obviously shows are bound to a time limit, and you're gonna have to ignore logic and look past some things to keep the story moving. But I just feel like we're constantly calling it out, and it runs rampant in a lot of shows. It's not like back in the day where they would complete an episode and story in within those 30 minutes and you know leave us walking away with all the answers. All right. Well, before we jump into this show, finally, you want to talk about one thing, and I think it plays into the theme of this episode really well, but also just the theme of the podcast, right? Mental health. Uh, I was aware of the name Lindsay Clancy, and I said to you, I'll do some research. I don't really know the story. Obviously, I've seen it on Facebook and all these things, but I've had so much going on that I haven't invested time to understand what this case is. Talk to me about what you know about it and why you wanted to talk about that case.
I when I said that, I hadn't, like, done enough, like, research. I just knew, like, this person has admitted to killing her 3 kids and, uh, has been on trial for it, and then
Mm,
I went down the rabbit hole of, like, just what's happened, the trial, all of that stuff, the support she's getting, and all of that, and then the husband now, online sleuths blaming the husband when like he's never been a
mhm,
suspect, and all of that. And while I will never experience postpartum psychosis or anything like that,
mm,
when do we at what point is there still accountability?
yeah,
And that's my biggest thing. There's 3 innocent souls that are gone. And while she might not have known she was doing it, why has that episode never happened again? And it only
mm,
happened for the 18 minutes that she was strangling her children and then threw herself out of a window. So I, I it, I have it's very convenient that that is what is going on.
yeah.
Um, now will only time will tell with the trial if she gets off or not. But there's no doubt in my mind that she's the one that did it. I mean, whether or not she was overly medicated, XYZ, it's just like, okay, so who's going to be accountable for the children's that nobody? Like we
Yeah.
oh now just 3 kids died by an accident, and it's like, well, no, that's not acceptable to me.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, I hate that somebody can just say, I was not of the right mind, and all of a sudden the case is thrown out, and it erases all accountability. It's crazy because the last 2 episodes we have talked about very heavy things where there had to be some sort of accountability, right? There was Luke's self accountability, there was accountability for what happened to Mandy, and it makes me think of that same thing in this scenario. Okay, does she need mental help? Yes, that's fine. But just because she needs mental help does not erase the fact that she strangled her 3 kids, whether she's overly medicated, whether she hears voices. Okay, you're still guilty. You get locked up in an insane asylum, right? You get medicated and you get the padded walls. You don't get to have freedom, or you're guilty and you killed your kids and now you go to jail for life. I
Uh, it, Look, drunk drivers don't remember killing people and still have to be held accountable.
yeah.
So there there should be something to say about what she was going through. However, in that same breath,
Mhm.
you killed not only 3 children, your own 3 children. And my biggest thing is she's probably going to get off because the lawyer's done a pretty good job of creating reasonable doubt. I will give the defense a their props. There's a good chance that she's not going to be convicted just based off that.
Mm.
However, um, she did it. Like
Yeah.
she did it, and I, from the expert testimony that I've seen, these that type of episode would present itself again at some point. It wouldn't have just been one off for this one traumatic time, like.
For this
And
specific amount of time.
right, and
Yeah.
it's just very convenient. You strangled your kids one by one in front of the other ones. So you not only did you kill them, you made them watch you kill the other ones, and
Yeah.
then you threw yourself out a window. I don't know. Could the husband have done it? I, gue- I guess, but he's on video not being around at the time of that. So I don't know. The
I
defense has done a tremendous job with the trial part of it.
yeah.
So who knows?
Trial part aside, what fascinates me is the support that she gets from the internet, and not even just her. There has been a string over the last year or two of murderers getting support from the internet and the people that are giving them money and paying bills and think that they're not guilty even though they're clearly guilty, and they're just like, oh, I support you, here's money, and next thing you know they have $800,000 in some fund when they're a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
And like you said, people are so uncomfortable thinking about a mother strangling her kids that they would rather blame the father somehow and turn it into a conspiracy. And oh, she couldn't have done it. It's the father's fault. She did, and then threw herself out a
I
window
mean,
and didn't
uh,
die.
terrible people do terrible things. I mean,
Mm.
men have killed their kids because they want to their kids and their wife because they want to go run away with their mistress. I mean, it's
Yeah.
happened on both sides. So yeah, is it worse when a mom does it? I don't think that kind of tragedy deserves to be. Is this worse than the other?
Nope.
I think it's all bad.
Kid's dead. A
And
kid's dead. Doesn't matter who kills them.
yeah, and so I'm like, the thing that bothered me about all of that, sure, you wanna go support women, whatever. Why are you bringing kids to a murder trial for a mom who killed her kids and then showing support? It's like, read the room? I like,
People
I
have no
wouldn't do
boundaries.
that,
They have no
like,
boundaries.
and so it's like, maybe you shouldn't have kids, like, I I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing that. And anybody that says like, what are we defending her for? Like, does she deserve to die? Maybe not. But she deserves to be fucking punished. She
Yeah.
strangled 3 fucking kids
If
and admitted to it
if she's
multiple
crazy,
times.
like I said, if she's crazy, institutionalize her. Don't let her get out. And if she's not crazy, she did it. Send her to jail. There's no middle ground.
Well,
There shouldn't be.
well, if she's guilty, she's gonna die. I think
Well,
that's
that's what
the
I'm saying. That's she either did it and she's not crazy, or she did it and she is
I don't know.
crazy.
I've known now, like, somebody told me today that they knew somebody that has called off an engagement because his fiance was supporting I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot,
Dude, there's
but
people that divorce and break up because of who they voted for in the presidential election, and
I was like, you don't know these people before you got in a relationship.
it's crazy. Anyways, all right. Okay, let's get this episode started. There's been a lot of banter. I had a lot
Let's
of
get
catching up.
into it.
I've had a lot of lives to live in the last few days. Let's start with our mental health rotational opener. Something small that has made your day better.
I've just been over the last few weeks just talking to Sam more. So just today she had messaged me. So
I love it. I love that.
mhm.
I will continue the child train. That sounds weird. I take that back. Cut that. Cut that. I will continue the theme of good things that children do, and same thing for me. Coming home, haven't seen my kids in a few days, and just watching Kinsley interact with Carter and Tegan, and watching them be nice to each other and helpful to each other. It's just so refreshing than having to like yell at them or chastise them or try to tell them to stop fighting or stop yelling. So something small that made my day was just coming home and watching the kids be a family and not at each other's throats. So
Hell
think
yeah.
about that. If you're listening to this episode, something small that made your day better, whether you're listening to this Thursday morning, Thursday night, Friday, some form of the weekend, take that second. Be grateful and just think about what has made your day better with all of the negativity that goes around. And starting with getting better, let's start with the fun stuff.
Mm.
Let's start about what I can't stop talking about because Vegas and the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, it was unreal. It was unreal, Nick. And I know I get flack for being not just a man, not just a boy, but a grown man who loves Backstreet Boys. And I don't care because the show was incredible. I knew 24 of the 25 songs that they played. There are multiple videos of me belting out, singing, reaching out, right? Just with the girls. And oh man, it was so good. And I can sit here and talk about all of that over and over. But I want this segment to be about is the experience, right? And the nostalgia. Being unconditionally me? What's the unword?
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. That's why I keep you around. Unapologetically me, and that's what I want to talk about, right? So if you're listening, I want you just to think about something that you genuinely love that people give you a hard time for, whether it's the Backstreet Boys or movies that you like or shows. You know, you might be a Harry Potter fan or uh, what's that other boy group? The
BTS.
ew, no, One Direction. You know, you might be a One Direction fan or you have a weird show or a hobby, but it's just something that makes you happy, even if other people think that it's corny. And that's what this was for me. Happy birthday to the love of my life if she listens to this episode, because today, when this episode comes out, is Callie's birthday and the
Oh hell
whole
yeah!
reason that we were there.
Happy birthday!
It was Callie's birthday. It was Preston's birthday. Callie's Mother's Day / birthday gift. Uh, Obviously, a nostalgic moment seeing the Backstreet Boys. But for me, I have been wanting to go to the Sphere since it opened. I just haven't really had a reason. Uh, have you haven't been? Yeah, I know that you just went to Vegas, but you haven't been to the Sphere, have you?
No, they didn't. They were playing Wizard of Oz when I was there. The
Hmm.
Eagles were playing the day I was leaving.
Okay.
That would have been probably cool, but no.
Yeah. So
I'm there every January, so
the Wizard of
maybe
Oz is
maybe next year.
$125 to watch a movie.
Fuck that, dude.
To watch a
Like,
movie.
it's not even good.
I mean, it has to be good if they run it. It plays every single day, 3 times a day, unless there's a concert at night. So they're making money on it somehow. It has to be good. I know my mom saw it. I don't know anybody else who's seen it.
We'll have to get your mom on here and ask.
I will say, non-biased, I talked to many people that work there because Callie still has a broken ankle, and she was a fucking trooper, dude. She still walked 14 miles in her boot and in her crutch, even though, you know, we got wheelchairs when we could, and we got Ubers when we could. So I talked to a lot of security guards that were there that were wheeling her around. I was like, "Hey, be honest. Like, are you tired of seeing this show?" And so many times people were like, "You know, the Eagles are boring because you know they're old. They just stand there." And Fish and Grateful Dead, it was cool visuals, but you know the band still isn't really doing much. And they were like, the Backstreet Boys is just a complete experience. And they're like, I have no problem watching this every single night, you know, most nights, because it's one of the best shows that they put on at the Sphere. Have you heard that?
Mm, no, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
Metallica's coming next, and everybody's like, "Oh, Metallica," and I'm like, they're still probably not gonna rock out like BSB did. It would be hard to see another. I don't. It would if there was some other pop star that were there, you know, somebody like Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter, you know, one of those big poppy names like a Justin Timberlake, that would
I think
probably break all the records that the Backstreet Boys are breaking. But there's nobody older that's resident scene there at the moment that could put on a show like they do in their 50s.
you're probably right. I would like to see like Bruno Mars there. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, there could definitely be some big superstars that where if they came there for a one-off, it would be massive. But this was apparently supposed to only be like 8 shows, and we went to show 51.
Mm.
Crazy. We got floor. I will say if anybody ever goes to the Sphere for the show, get the floor. Don't get the seats. We were 6 rows deep from the boys, and we had all of the room. If you see the videos, it looks like the floor is empty, but it was, thousands and thousands of people. It's just you have so much room because they have a certain number of floor tickets that they sell. Right downstairs, they had so many bathrooms and bars. There was never a wait for anything. It was an absolute perfect perfect venue is what I would call the Sphere.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So if there was somebody that you would want to see at the Sphere, who would it be? What would bring that happiness that I'm having in the Backstreet Boys? Who would that be for you? Oh, I got my cup too.
Well, I don't know. I would like maybe one like a jam band there would be pretty cool, like Dave Matthews Band or something.
Again, they just kind of stand there.
I bet they all kind of just stand there.
That's what I'm saying. People don't get it. These guys still rock out at 50
I'm
plus.
still trying to just for like visuals and like music because it's supposed to be like one of the better like acoustic
Mhm.
places as well.
Yeah,
So,
because the speakers they play different. It doesn't sound like normal
well,
speakers
there's
would, just the way
speakers
that it is.
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
That's behind every panel.
Yep, everyone is a speaker.
Hmm.
Mm. Dude, it was 110 degrees out, so I'm wearing a hat today because if you're looking at
Ugh.
this, you can see my head. I feel like uh, I like gold, Goldfinger,
Oh,
where
yeah,
he
gold member.
gold member where he takes the chips of the skin flakes off and he eats them. My head is just peeling. It's disgusting. So
Did you did you gamble while you were there?
I did gamble. And Chris and I, Hugo, forget which episode it was, but go back and listen to her episode, Miss Kristen Hugo. We played Yahtzee. So we went down to Fremont and we played Yahtzee. We were just like,
Fremont.
Preston and Mellis and everybody, they were off drinking and talking, Callie. And Chris and I were like, let's go gamble. We're like, yeah, I want to gamble. So we were like, roulette, blackjack. She's like, I don't want to do the stuff we always do. She's like, let's just find something cool because she likes war, but we couldn't find war there. And so she was like, what about Yahtzee? I was like, all right, let's play Yahtzee. I don't know if you've played Yahtzee in Vegas. It's a very simple concept. You either pick red or blue to win. And it's just like we talked about CeeLo a few episodes ago, where if you get 3 in a row or you get 3 of a kind, that trumps it, or it's just the highest number of the roll. And that's it. It's just a game of chance. You pick red or blue because that's the colors of the dice that are rolling, and that's it. And we won a bunch of money. We won a bunch of money. Well, I think I did, Kristen. And then so we get up from there and we're like, all right, well, what's next? I'm like, I've never played craps. Like I've played video craps, but I've never been on a craps table. Because we were on Fremont, there was a $10 table. I didn't want to
Oh
do the
yeah.
$25, $50 tables. That's why we kind of went to Fremont to gamble over there. And so we jump on a table. I didn't realize that it's just a circle. That's how you throw. It's just
Yeah.
a line. So right where we stood, I just stood right next to the guy throwing. I was like, "Yeah, you got this." And we're watching, and he's betting. And the other side of the table was very quiet, but him and his wife, they were happy, and he's winning money. And I was like, "Oh, I don't really know what to do." I was like, "Where should I bet it?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm hitting this and this number." I was like, "Okay." Put some money down. Boom, boom, boom. He hit 5 or 6 times. Won me some money. But then he threw his 7, and I was like, "Oh, good job, good job. All right, who wants to roll next?" And he looks at me and he goes, "It's your turn." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Pretty drunk, I'm ready to go. We've been drinking all day. I'm like, "All right, fuck yeah, let's do this."
First dice off the table.
So I picked my dice up. I put the number. So this guy had been putting threes like diagonally like this because I guess people have
Hmm.
their weird quirks. So
Yeah.
I put 2-3, my number, and I rolled a 7 because it was on the pass line. Everybody starts cheering. They're like, "Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah, good job." I'm
Come
like,
out.
"I just threw a 7. I lost."
On the
They're
come
like
out. You
they're
won.
like they're like, "No, you just won." I'm like, "Oh." They're like, "7s and 11s are good right
On
now."
come outs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, "Okay." So he's like, "Put some money there." So I did. So I threw it again, 11. I threw it again, 7. I threw it again, 11. My first 4 rolls were the biggest ones that you could get for where we were. And I was like, "Oh, that's good." And now Chris is next to me and now everybody's cheering. We're winning money. They're like, "Hell yeah." I must have rolled 20 times. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
getting 5, 6, 8s. These people at one point I tried to tip the guy next to me for like telling. He's like, "Why are you tipping me? You're winning all my money. Just keep going." I'm like, "Okay." Uh, so I finally roll a 7. Chris goes up. She has no idea what she's doing. I think in like the first 3 rolls, she rolled one off the table. She threw it so hard, and another time she threw it too soft and it didn't hit the back. So I guess the rule is you have to hit the
You have to
back.
hit the back. Yeah.
They paid her out because she won, but they were like, "Ma'am, you can't do
Mhm.
that again." And she's like, "Do what?" She's like, "What did I do?" He's like, "You got to hit the back." She's like, "Okay." And then that's when she, I think, hit it and it went over. I was like, "Gotta
Yeah.
find the happy medium." Long story short, she does the same fucking thing, and she's just. I think she ordered 2 drinks while she was rolling. Like that's how
Oh, yeah.
long she was on, and I just kept putting my tens down and playing the
Did
numbers.
either of you hit all the numbers?
I don't know because I
Oh.
never the bet on to even worry about that. I was focused on the field, and I think I was playing like 10, 6, or 8 or something like
You
that.
were
One of those.
field betting the whole time?
I was winning. I was winning.
That's crazy.
2s and 12s were coming up. I was getting double pays. I'm telling you.
Yeah, on the field, but
I
that's
know,
yeah.
but it's the way that the dice were rolling, bro.
Yeah,
You
no,
had to
I'm
be
I'm
there.
I'm I'm with you, like, especially on, like, the video shit, like, the video shit is it's a little bit easier.
Mhm. That's what I mostly do, but man, it was a lot of fun. I even
Oh,
said I
dude,
wish I was rich because I see like why people like this game in the movies and stuff, but it's a money game. You have to have money to play that game.
yeah, I love that game, especially at a table. So, were you on a table that you could bet on, like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up through 12, or was it,
No,
like, 5 through, 11?
5 through 11 with a field.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, regular craps,
Yeah, yeah,
because the
yeah.
other one's crapless.
Oh,
So,
no, no.
yeah, no, I love it.
It was good. Like I said, if I ever come into money and you wanna go take a Vegas trip and well, I guess we don't have to go to Vegas. You could just come to Tampa and we could play craps. Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
but
I won a lot of money in Tampa. During the day, they do, like, a $15 table, so it's not too terrible, and
yeah.
then, the guy next to me was rich. Um, he or at least faked it because he was playing with black chips everywhere. So, but like you said, I went on a roll. I won that dude thousands of dollars,
Yeah,
and at the end of it, he threw me a couple $100 just for rolling him money. Like,
I love it.
I
I've
love
okay,
craps.
I have one more question. Do well, I have multiple questions, but do you think that kids belong in Vegas?
Nowadays, I'm sure it's yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, not in the casinos, but
We were at the pool, right? And we had contemplated all day about getting a cabana. We wanted a cabana. It was 110 degrees,
you should
every
probably get a
degree of it.
cabana.
It was absolutely disgusting. What'd you say?
You should probably get a cabana.
Well, okay. So
How many of the hold on, how many of you were there?
there were 5 of us. There were 5 of
Yeah,
us,
it's 200
but
bucks a piece,
well,
tops.
one of them is Callie, right? So that
So
I have
400
to get
bucks a
to Callie.
tops.
The other 3 were girls, so Preston and I were like, "We'll probably just split it, ask everybody for, like, 50 bucks." Whatever, 200 bucks a person, and then 50 bucks. It was 650 for the cabana.
Oh, that's not bad.
Listen, we were staying at the MGM Grand. My
I
one
how
of what?
yeah, when I stayed there, it was 2 grand.
Oh, wow, that's not bad. It was also a Thursday. It was a
Oh,
Thursday. So we're staying at the MGM Grand because they have one of the best pools in Vegas.
Mhm.
It's a lazy river. So the cabanas we were going to get were right next to the lazy river. $650. We contemplated this. Preston wanted to get it like reserved weeks before. I was like, let's just hold off. Let's try and talk them down. I think they're a separate group from the hotel, so there was no talking them down. They would rather they were like, we would rather not sell it than lower our prices. I'm like, okay, whatever. They're like 650 is already low price. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a Thursday, but whatever. They did sell the cabanas eventually.
Was there any did like the 650 include food or
No,
anything?
nope.
Okay, so when I did it, it was 2 grand, but 1,000 of it was food and drink.
Oh well, that would have been good. No, this was just 650 for the cabana. So there's a couch, there's a fan, you get a
Yeah, I
TV.
know. It's the same
Uh,
cabanas.
I'm explaining for the listeners, Nick. Jeez. God, all of this, and it's right by the lazy river. Cool concept, cool idea, especially if it's 110 degrees out. We decided not to do it, so we get down to the pool at like 10 o'clock. We grabbed just some normal pool chairs, and we went to the lazy river. We probably did maybe 3, 4, 5 laps. They start blowing the whistles. Everybody get out of the pool. Get out of the pool. Get out of the pool. We're like, oh shit. Okay, what? Come to find out, the kid's shit in the pool. Kid, shit in the lazy river. And that's not a quick fix. They gotta get people out of there for hours. So this is at like 10:30, 11. And all of these people had bought cabanas. They had spent all of this money to be around the lazy river, and the pool shuts down, and there's no refunds. So hours go by, and the next closest pool is all the way on the other side of the resort. The floor is super hot. Now that pool is hot and stale. The lazy river was nice and cool because it's running
Mhm.
water. The next pool is hot and stale, and people are pissing on it. It's disgusting. And all of the cabana people, they're over there complaining. They're like, this is fucked up. We paid money and we don't even get to use the pool. We can't even be at the cabana that we're at because it's in a corner that's closed. I am so happy we did not buy that, because when that kid
Yeah.
shit in the pool, he shut the whole thing down. When we left at 3 o'clock, it was still closed.
Yeah, no, that would I would
Money
have been
saved.
pissed. But I think when I was there, I don't think kids were allowed. They might have been, dude. I don't even remember. I was so drunk, dude. I don't remember if there was kids or not. I could give two shits.
I don't care, but I
If you're
still
gonna
think
bring your kids to Vegas, be prepared to have them see shit you gotta explain. So
people bring their kids to Fremont Street, and like dudes like ass level. You wonder why people are walking around saying "live fast, eat ass," because this kid's 6 years old, just right at ass level, walking around Fremont. I'm like, why are you there with your kid doing that? I,
people are weird.
there's nothing for kids to do in Fremont. Yeah, if you want to go to a hotel and stay there, fine, but they should have a kids section. Like if these adults are paying all these money, this money, don't fuck it up with kids. Nah.
Mm.
Anyways, Callie wants to go.
I wouldn't bring my little kids there. I mean, maybe a teenager,
Yeah, but not
and
somebody that
then
can shit in
even
the
then
pool
it's just like, are
uncontrollably.
we just gonna go see shows and shit? Like, what are we really gonna do? You
Well, Luke
know?
said he might bring his 11-year-old to go back to Backstreet Boys, so I mean, I get that.
That I'm like I said, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
You know,
So, side note,
he kept getting lost in the casino anyway. So
side note, if you want to go back to Backstreet Boys, anybody that did not have the
New
chance
Year's,
to
huh?
attend with me, Callie wants to go back for New Year's. So there goes all my money, because if she wants to go, I want to go. You know, it's really not that bad. So I'm putting
New
the
Year's
invite
in
out there
Vegas is
now. If you
new,
are listening and want to go see the Backstreet Boys and did not go with us in this August trip, and you want to go for New Year's, DM me, message me if you know me,
slide
text
into
me.
his DMs.
Oh lordy, lordy. So as fun as Vegas was, I think the truth is that there has also been something heavy, happening in the background. We alluded to it, I think last episode a little bit, where I had said I had something personal going on, but it was Luke's episode, so I didn't really want to talk about it then. But even while I was gone, there was something going on that was on my mind, something that I was thinking about. I even asked my parents if it was okay that I went, just because guilt of going out and having this time. But unfortunately, about like 3 weeks ago, out of nowhere, my dad was diagnosed with leukemia. It had been very hard to even say out loud for the first few days when I was talking to people or texting people, just crying and sobbing, just even thinking about the concept of my father, somebody who has been a fighter, but just somebody who I don't ever, see being down. He's always been the head of the household. Watching him get diagnosed with something as serious as leukemia, with something as serious as cancer. So that was definitely something that has been eating at me, and it feels good to say and talk about out loud now. But it's been something that has been eating away at me, and I do want to say to anybody that does know about it, that has reached out, that has consoled me, that has shared stories, I appreciate all of you. So I wanted to put that out there.
No, I've known for weeks, like, when you obviously you texted
You're-
me and,
Yeah, you were one of the first. Yeah.
yeah, and, I mean, shit, I've known George since I was a little kid too, so, uh, he's a fighter, and I know that, he's gonna get through this, but it's always tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there is positives to it. So he is in chemotherapy. He has been in Orlando for the last week getting chemo. He'll be there for another 3 weeks. He's not going home. He's doing treatment in the hospital. But the good thing is he's 100% healthy otherwise. His lungs are fine. His heart's fine. They actually found this during a hip replacement, bone marrow biopsy, and I'm so thankful that they did, because from all the blood tests, he did not have cancer.
Mm.
But they found it in his bone marrow, which meant it allowed him to get to the hospital sooner, to start chemotherapy sooner, and get out in front of it before it could get any worse. So there are a lot of things that have been positive lights to this whole situation. So I got to say that as well. I it's tough because it's not just my dad, but we talked about Kato having cancer and my aunt having cancer and my father-in-law having cancer, and it's just I don't I don't know if it's the age that we're in. They say that cancer shows more after 60, and we're in our 40s, so most of the older people are to us are 60 plus.
Yeah.
Uh, do you feel like cancer is everywhere? Like, has cancer hit anywhere
Oh,
close to you or
yeah.
people that you know?
Yeah, one I mean, one of our other friends, obviously their child's going through it. Obviously, respect to them, we're not gonna name names, but, uh,
Yep.
them, um,
Yep.
and I it feels like it's more prevalent, these this day and age, but, I mean, it's been I mean, my mom's mom died of cancer in the mid-90s, so it's one of those things that's been here for a while, and
Yeah.
it's not gonna go anywhere, but it definitely seems like I said, definitely seems like over the last 5 to 10 years, it's, one shoot, like 1 in every 5 people, you know
Yeah.
somebody
It feels
that's
like it's
been
everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
mhm, yeah. Maybe it's the food. Maybe it's the food we're eating. Yeah, I don't know.
Could be the food, it could be the technology and the radiation that's
Maybe.
out there. I'm no
Yeah,
conspiracy
maybe.
theorist, but I feel like there has to be something to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the hardest thing for me is it's not that I can't go see him, but I had a conversation with my mom, and we kind of came to the conclusion of I shouldn't go see him because I'm around the kids and because they're,
Mhm.
constantly sick. If I were to go in there and get him sick, it could set him back 3 months because his immune system, is so low, and it's only going to drop more as he gets farther into chemotherapy. If you don't know about chemo, it's to basically knock your body down to then kill the infection so it has nowhere to live, and then your body comes back to life. So that's been one of the hardest parts. I thankfully was able to see him the day he started chemo. Me and Kinsley went out there, we drove there, we said hello, we sat for a few hours. I was able to hug him, tell him I love him, and say goodbye. But that's probably the last time I'll visit him until hopefully he gets out of the hospital.
Yeah, that I'm sure that's been extremely tough, but, luckily there's, technology to where
Yeah,
you
talk to him
can
every
you
day.
can, video chat with him, still see him, maybe
Yeah.
not be in the same room with him, but still, be able to see his persons.
He's in a positive mindset. He's feeling great. Him and my mom walk a mile a day. My mom's basically living there with him. I had to force her to go home, so she goes home like every 5 or 6 days for the night, wash up, make some fresh food,
Do
and
laundry and
yeah,
then
take
go
care of
back.
herself because the first thing I thought of is she's not going to leave his side, and that's what I said to her when I saw her. I was like, "You have to go home. You have to go home. It
Mhm,
it doesn't need to be tonight. It doesn't need to be tomorrow, but at some point you need a break because you have to take care of yourself. If you get sick and he can't help you, then it doesn't make sense to anybody." So
mhm. Well, sound
he's ex-
advice.
he's excited for the fantasy draft we have
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
this week.
I don't remember the day, so this is gonna be exciting.
It's tomorrow.
Perfect.
It's tomorrow night. Uh, Positive mindset. He's ready for that. He is a fighter. I'm tired of seeing him in the hospital. Uh, when I was little, he had a car accident. 10 years ago, he had his motorcycle accident, and now this. And I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like, stop seeing, stop making us see each other like this.
Yeah, hopefully this is, the last major thing for quite a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I love him, and he's doing well. If you know him, you can reach out to him. If you don't know the situation, you know it now. He has Facebook Messenger. If he has a number, you can text him. He is doing well. He has talked to all of our immediate family knows, but it's just not something that we've openly shared. But I felt like I wanted to talk about it a little bit.
No, thank you for sharing, and,
Yeah.
we love you, George.
Yep. Yep. We love you. We love you for sure. If there's anybody out there who is experiencing cancer and or has experienced loss with cancer, just keep fighting. Like I said, there's just too many people in my network that I know that have cancer, but all of them are fighting. And thankfully, medicine has uh, grown with this sickness that, there are treatments that can help extend life, even in some of the worst cases. So we're thinking about you, and we love you all. If anybody is fighting with cancer, and just be that support for somebody who might be fighting. If there's anybody in your life, and I want you to kind of reflect on that too. If maybe you don't know somebody with cancer, but there's so many other things out there.
Oh,
If you
you
have somebody,
will.
yeah, if you have somebody in your life and that you've had to be strong for while still being scared, just know that it's normal as humans. We can support, but we can be scared and we can be fearful at the same time. But just try to have that positive mindset. Yeah. Uh, all of this has gotten me thinking in a different way recently, especially some of the conversations that you and I have had about getting older and growing up and becoming an adult. And just recently on Facebook, it's funny how this happens, but something popped up that made me stop for a second. And not too many things do that because I'm always like, oh, this is stupid, 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 whatever. But I was like, oh, I came across this quote. Do you know who Carl Jung is?
Mm,
Not to be
not
confused with
necessarily.
George Jung from Blow. He is a Swedish psychiatrist who has this famous study, and he has a quote that says, "Life truly begins at 40. The first part of life is research. The first half is building your identity, your career, right? Your family, your roles. And then your second half of life is figuring out what actually matters." That is kind of right where I'm at in life. I think about it all the time, just about who I was in my 20s, my old persona that we've talked about of C-Rod. He tries to pop up sometimes, but that's not my priority anymore. It's not who I am in life, and now I think more about, my kids, my parents getting older. I don't want to be grinding in a sales job 5 days, a week, 6 days a week. I want to be enjoying my time and my experiences with my family and doing things. But, have you heard this quote, or where does that hit home for you?
I've definitely heard that quote before, but I didn't know who said it.
Hmm.
I, I mean, I think it's pretty accurate. I mean, the first part of life is definitely research. But no, I mean, I really do agree. I think now that we are, I guess, approaching the second half of our lives, um, I definitely find myself like worrying about like what really matters more than the superficial shit. So
Hmm.
I mean, I definitely think there's something to it.
I don't think you think about growing up. You don't think about that, where in our 20s we know everything, right? We know it all. We don't care what our parents say. We don't
Uh,
have the life
I
experiences. And then
I didn't
20
think
years
I knew it
later,
all, but
20 years later, you're 40. And it's like, oh, well, shit. I know so much more than I knew 20 years ago. And I think that's why it makes sense. Like, our research is life experience. And by the time we're 40, by the time we're at midlife, we have lived 30 years of experiences. And I say 30 because most of the time before we're 10, we don't remember, unless we have something super traumatic happen to us. But it's true. Everything that molds us in those first 40 years is kind of how we live our second half of our life. Like, if you even think about people who were addicts, right? And maybe came back from that, and they learned, they had that experience. They went and they tested, they lived that crazy life. Alcoholics who go out and do crazy things that then maybe become sober. They take all of that they learned, the goods and the bads, the indifference, and they're like, okay, now this half of my life, like, I want to live a different way. I don't want to be who I was in my 20s and 30s.
yeah, I have no interest.
It hits hard. In that sense, I know that we've talked about your sobriety, but was there anything that you spent so much time chasing in this first half that, maybe you won't chase in your second half?
um, I, yeah, I think I success. I chase that a lot in this first half. I mean, I think I will still try to be successful, but I don't think I'm be necessarily chasing it. I think that the time I've put in. I think it's about everything paying off or whatever.
Does
But
your definition of successful change?
um, I I definitely think that what why I want to be successful has changed. Just the freedom to do whatever,
Mm,
like just if pick up and if I wanna go on a vacation or whatever, just it a lot it money just provides that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So, um, obviously, I met with that success was monetarily. Probably also chased I definitely wanted a family unit, for Sam and myself, but
Mm.
at the same time, I'm like, I'm not necessarily chasing that anymore. If it happens, great. If it I mean, hopefully eventually. I don't wanna die alone. You
You
know?
won't die. You won't die alone, buddy.
No, I don't think so either, but, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully everything works out, but,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, I I mean, I get that. I came out of college and all I wanted to do was make money and all I did was sales and partying and I was like, "Oh, because that's what's gonna make me happy. Making all this money and partying and being able to do all this." And so much changed when I got into my 30s where and started having kids. And I don't want to sit here and say that kids change how you measure time because there's absolutely people who don't have kids or don't want to have kids and their time changes too as they get older. They realize, just more about their life as they look inward. But I just didn't care to make somebody else money and to lose my time being that yes man and working, 20 hours a day where I learned very early on that if you give like 50% when you're working, those times when you bump it up to 75, 100, people are like, "Oh my god, that's crazy." And I only say that because I'm good at what I do and my 50% is a lot better than some of other people's 100%, but
No, I mean, there is something to that, but, yeah, I s I had kids early, though,
Mm,
so, like, it's different for me. Well, my 20s and 30s was for them, and
yeah.
now it's what do I do for me?
Yep,
I think that's the so, like, chasing that success, I'm like, I don't need to be as I don't I needed that for the freedom for them, now
right.
or her, and now it's just like, well, yeah, I still like it. I still wanna be that, but, I guess I could take more risks now. I mean,
Yeah,
now that I
that's fair.
she's pretty much an adult, so if I wanted to go out and do my own thing, I guess I could do that or
I I'm envious of that. I've thought so much in my career of like changing careers and a lot of the times I can't because it's like stick with what I'm doing because that base salary is going to keep my family fed or if I change careers I got to start over and we'll be homeless. So I'm definitely envious of being able to take that risk and I think about that a lot too.
and I don't know, struggling, through my 20s into my 30s
Yeah.
to now be able to be like that. I mean,
Yep.
it's great, but there's a lot of time. Like I look back, I'm like, man, I put in a lot of time into this,
Yep.
and it's just now paying off.
And to think we still have double this life to live. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. Well, hopefully, I'm almost to retirement.
Or Dolly Parton just passed away at 80. Rest in peace, Dolly.
If I see 80, I won. I think if I can just sniff 80, I
Yeah.
think I won.
I always say that if I can't wipe my own ass, put me out to pasture.
I don't need to wipe my own ass with a bidet. Like as long as I'm not shitting myself, I'm good. Like if I can get to the bathroom, I don't want to lose this though. Like
Yeah.
when I lose this, that's when I like don't keep me alive if I don't know who the fuck you are. Like
Mm.
if I am not there anymore, what are we doing? Like that's not me.
It's fair. That's fair.
And that's one of my I guess one of the fears doing what I do, like aluminum and all that, is it has been definitely a cause of uh Alzheimer's. So
The chemicals?
just being around aluminum
Really?
and like working with and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
hmm
Like your
But
body just absorbs that or
I don't know if it absorbs it, but I mean,
oh,
probably. There's something to it. I
I'm
just know
intrigued.
that it's not good.
Huh, I'll have to research that.
Yeah. But also, like, I don't do nearly as much as aluminum as I used to,
Hmm.
so but
So now
that is a thing.
what you need to do is on the back half of your career, find whatever material helps with Alzheimer's, and then you'll just balance it back out. Work in that field. Limestone factory. I don't know. Maybe limestone's good for Alzheimer's.
No, I have no idea, yeah, like
Yeah. The quote really just makes me think. Everybody always said over the hill, 40, right? Midlife crisis, but I think it makes me think in a different way that it's not a crisis, but maybe it's clarity. I'm definitely thinking the most thorough that I've ever thought in my life. Even even if I try to make split second decisions, I'm making those decisions with some basis of thought to it. Where back in the day, I was just like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. No repercussions. Let's just do it. Do it. Send it, as the kids say now. Send it.
I yeah, I like I said, now I do that more than I did before. Like, like, just being more open to things, more open to experiences, more open to everything, like, now compared to 10, 15 years ago, I'm
Mm.
definitely like, "Yeah, maybe." Still won't jump out of a fucking plane, though, that
Oh,
just doesn't seem
oof.
wise.
I've always said I will jump out of a plane when I'm 80 because that way, if I die, I've already lived my life.
Alright. I'll be 81, so I'm in.
I will wheeze my ass up there with my inhaler and I will close my eyes because I am afraid of heights. And when somebody says jump, I will just jump knowing that, hey, if I die, my life has been completed.
I just have been around that, like, because where I used to work was right at a municipal airport where they did the skydiving, and,
That can't be good for
when you
Alzheimer's.
hear a body hit the ground, it just doesn't it just loses all of its appeal to jump out of a fucking plane.
Are you insinuating that you have watched or heard or been by somebody who has died
1,000%.
from jumping out of a
1,000%.
plane?
I'm not insinuating shit. 1,000 seen
What
this
the
motherfucker hit a building. Yeah, no,
what?
like, it's not. Oh, yeah.
Why have I never
Dude
heard this?
dude, I don't know, it's
Not something you walk around telling people, "Hey, I've
yeah,
watched
no,
somebody die."
dude, especially in DeLand, dude, at least once a year, someone's dying from skydiving. Most of the
Hmm,
time, I've never seen anybody tandem die. It's always, like, solos,
yeah,
but yeah,
it's
multiple
terrifying.
times.
It's
Not
terrifying. You always see those videos where somebody's skydiving and, like, their parachute gets caught, and now they're twirling, and then they gotta,
mhm,
like, cut it and pull
cut it away,
I
yeah.
shit my pants, I'd die. I'd die right there. That
I
no
I
survivor.
right there.
No. I'd shit my pants, I'd throw up from spinning. So I'd say, "That's it. This is it."
I
There's
shit my pants.
there's a reason that this parachute is all fucked up right now.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm good.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, would you ever get in a cage, like, for sharks, like great whites or something?
I wanna go to New Zealand, and go do, great white sightseeing. New Zealand is one of the best places in the world to do it. Chris Sarametta and I were actually talking about it years ago after Thailand,
Ugh,
and it just never materialized.
just man, that's scary.
Oh. Oh, sharks are a whole different beast for me. I used to ritualistically watch Shark Week. I even used to like tweet and I won a shirt. Sharks fascinate me. They're one of my favorite animals, and I would 100% go into a cage with a shark. I would shit my pants. Probably be deathly afraid. I think it would be awesome though. Awesome.
I think that's what I'm scared of, a shark getting in the cage with me, because then it's like, now what?
What movie that there's a isn't there? It's not Jaws.
I mean,
Is
I've
it Jaws?
seen it, like, I've seen enough videos where that's happened.
What are these cages?
They're
Cheap ass
aluminum. They're
cages in
not
like
even
Jamaica?
well, they're not made out of steel, they're, like, made out of aluminum.
Not the real cages. There's well, I'll tell you what. My favorite land animal is tigers, and I went to Thailand specifically to go pet tigers. When we walked into that cage, I almost shit myself. There's a lot of shitting everywhere. Uh, Walking into a cage full of tigers is one of the most intimidating things I've ever done, even though they're all sedated. I've still seen so many videos where they've attacked people. And once you're in the cage with the tiger, that's it.
Yeah, that seems crazy.
I remember we were like taking pictures and they're like, oh, pull its tail. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking pulling this tail. They're like, oh, it's not gonna do anything. It'll make
No,
him look at
thank
you.
you.
Like, yeah, he'll look at me because he wants to eat me. I'm not gonna pull this dude's tail. One of them was like, oh, grab his balls. What? You want me to grab this tiger's balls? Oh, he'll be fine. I'm like, no. We had to hug one of them for a picture. My heart was beating. I couldn't wait. Even though I wanted to be there for so long, I couldn't wait to get my hands off of that thing because it's just very scary. Scary, surreal. Animals are crazy. They're not crazy. They're impressive.
I mean, I mean, they're animals.
I follow this guy on Instagram that I just found where I guess he lives in Africa and he had found like a baby tiger. He raised it. He bought a whole chunk, like miles and miles of lands on a preserve out in Africa. Has this little house that he stays in, and then there's like a cage that's like 2 or 3 miles that's his property. Uh, all of this to say it's for the tiger that is still his pet that he goes out and hunts with. Like he'll take his GoPro and literally go hunt gazelle with this tiger and grab like he'll say, I'm gonna grab this leg and I'll bring it back for her because it's good for 3 or 4 days. And then she wouldn't be able to come out to it because she does have some limitations on like how she can hunt because she was raised by a human. But it's one of the coolest things to me where this dude lives on a wildlife preserve and his pet is a tiger. And he goes out there and he experiences all of that with this tiger.
That yeah, that's pretty
That's what I could
awesome.
do. That's what I would do if I could. That's if I could change everything in my life, I'd go live on a wildlife preserve with a tiger.
That's funny.
We're just we're I don't know if it's these drinks or what, but we're getting off topic. But anyways, I think this is the right place to kind of wrap things up. We talked from Vegas to Backstreet Boys to cancer to now going off on some spiel about 40 and tigers and sharks. But for me, it's just thinking about how good life can be if if you stay positive. Even there's so much negative in life, and even with everything that's going on, if you can try to find the positivity and live every day just in those positive moments, I think that's why I wanted to have this episode and talk about some of the
Mm.
things to just keep fighting, fight every day. Whether you're sick or not, or have cancer or not, or things are good or things are bad. All that we can kind of do is fight and move forward day by day. What do you say about that?
No, that's definitely all we can do is just take everything one day at a time.
Yeah. Yep. So if any part of today's episode hit home, please share it with a friend. Tag us at CrodsPod on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok at CrodsPod and help us keep these conversations going. We drop new episodes every Thursday. If you have a topic, a story, or you just need to vent, email us at crotspod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Our safe space is your outlet. If you notice, I'm rocking my Assholes Live Forever shirt today. So until next time, live fast, eat ass, or remember, the first half might just be research.